Another great feature of staging mode is that it allows you to hold data in the staging buffer, even if you're bouncing between live and blind. So to look at an example, let's go into Q13 here in blind. Let's go ahead and enter staging mode. And here I want to say 31 through 35 out. And I want 71 through 73 to look the same as the other side. So I'm going to say color, recall from 51. Great. Now at this point, my designer is talking to me on headset, wanting to look at something on stage. So I was in here working on some notes from earlier, but I need to quickly pop out into live and help her. So let's go ahead and press go into our next cue. So we're here in a blackout, but we need to add a couple of fixtures in. So we need to add 111 and 112 at full. And you'll see I have those in my real space. I'm going to go ahead and point to click to the center of our turntable. Right about there. Let's zoom those out a bit. And I'm going to click downstage just so we're off our wall in space here. And we're going to drop in a gobo. Let's go ahead and pick that break up there, and we're going to sharpen that up. That looks good. And our designer's happy with that, so we're going to go ahead and update enter on that cue, and she's asked for a time of 3. Now in our tech process, we seem to be holding for something else, so this is a good time for me to go back into blind and finish those edits I was working on. So I'm going to go back into blind. Now notice I'm in Q102.5 because that's where we were on stage, so I need to move back into Q13 and re-enter staging mode. I'm going to page up so I can see those channels I was working on. And you'll see our 31 through 35 are out here, but they're orange, again, because they're being held by the staging buffer. They are not committed to this cue yet. Notice if we hit next and next, those changes are being applied to any cue. So we have the ability to apply the data in the staging buffer to any cue we want, not only the cue in which we originally made those changes. Let's make sure we're back in Q13 for now. And in this cue, I also want to take out 51 through 53. We need our stage right side of the stage to be a bit darker. Okay, so I'm happy with all of these changes in blind, so I'm going to copy to enter, and then exit staging mode, and go back into live. We can also do this the opposite way. So we can add some changes to the staging buffer in live, and then work in blind, and those changes will be held as well. So let's take a look at that. So let's enter staging mode. Let's turn on 102 and 104. And I want to focus those on my singer. And those are a little bright. Let's put those at 75 instead. And I do want to add a gobo here. Let's try our triangles breakup. I'm going to sharpen that a little. I'm going to keep it slightly blurred out. That looks pretty good. All of a sudden, my designer is asking to make some changes to the upcoming cues here, so I need to jump into blind. And we need to look at 105, so I'm going to press next, next, next. And again, notice how our stage button is blinking. So that's indicating that there is data stored in the staging buffer that we need to choose what to do with. We're not going to use any of that here. We're just going to make some changes to this cue as it stands. So since we are not in staging mode, anything we enter will be stored immediately as it always has. So in Q105 in blind, we need to just remove channels 101 through 105. Let's turn those off. And we are going to let those track. Now we can go ahead and pop back to live. And I'm going to go back into staging mode. And we can continue to work on those fixtures. And again, nothing on our actual stage has changed throughout any of these notes. I'm going to select 102 and 104 again. I'm going to fix that edge. Let's go ahead and make that sharp. And we need to make this a cyan color. Just going to use our color picker. That looks nice. So we can see in our table display that all of that data is orange. We've got some focus changes, some color changes, and some beam changes. Now the director is paying attention right now, so I want to get these on stage in a more subtle manner than we did last time. So I want to go ahead and put the non-intensity parameters on stage before I do my intensity. So from here, I'm going to say select last, all non-intensity parameters, copy to, sneak 5. I want those to move in slowly so there's not a distracting noise in the room during our tech process. So you can see those moving on our model, but our intensity is still captured in stage mode. So now that those have preset in real life, we can go ahead and get their intensity onto our stage. So now I'll just say copy to, sneak 3, enter, and we will see those fade up on our stage. Okay, now we just need to clear staging mode, and our designer likes this, so let's go ahead and update this cube only.